All right, let's get a check of what's playing out with other markets that we track at this time. We're seeing a bounce. There's green on the screen with Bitcoin there jumping from about $84,000 up to 87,000 and still looking like it wants to maintain this position. Ethereum 2.92% up. So we're seeing big moves so far in the crypto market. Let's look at how investors are feeling. Are they still afraid at this point? Yeah, it's still fear, but much better than extreme fear. So heading towards neutral at this point for the market. All right, let's talk about other issues now in the cryptocurrency industry. We have Ololade Babalola, founder Endura Labs, joining me via Zoom. Great to have you on the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me, Laddie.
Yeah, so definitely we're talking about Bitcoin mining, and I've not been hearing so much about mining, especially in Africa. So talk to me about the situation of Bitcoin mining. Is this something that's still big at this point? And do you think countries in Africa should be looking at mining Bitcoin at this point instead of buying Bitcoin?
For anyone who doesn't really know the history, the design of Bitcoin, Bitcoin is quite tethered to gold. And by that, the process of generating new Bitcoin is called mining, and it involves having the required hardware that solve mathematical equations that validate and verify transactions on the blockchain. So with respect to mining, the protocol is called the proof of work mechanism, where you have to work to earn and mine new Bitcoin. Is it still profitable? Very much so. There are supposed to be, and they're going to be only 21 million Bitcoin that will ever be mined. So there is a supply cap on Bitcoin. We're about over 18 million right now. And every 4 years, that supply is cut in half, which is what we know as the halving. And with respect to that, many countries over the years have engaged in mining Bitcoin, either on the private side or on the government side, or hybrid of both. So I would say there's a nation called Bhutan who, fortunately for them, in contrast to Nigeria, had like an excess supply of electricity, and the government just decided, since we have this much electricity, why don't we redirect some of it to generate revenue? And I think in less than 4 years, they've done close to $1 billion, depending on what capacity of Bitcoin mining facilities that they've set up. So with respect to mining, and if there's something there are individual entities, pockets of people here and there on the African continent. I know that Ethiopia probably carries the biggest Bitcoin mining hash rate on the continent of Africa. However, there's still potential upside with respect to it. And I know I kind of just said something that sounds contradictory to the average Nigerian, which is we need electricity to mine Bitcoin, but we don't have all that electricity. However, sometimes we know the saying that necessity is the mother of invention. And if this can generate upsides of high margins of revenue, why can't we just start to think about ways to go about it? About 4 years ago, there was a report that said that there was about over 6 billion cubic tons of flared gas wasted. And I think at the time it was valued at over $700 million. Over the years, I know some companies have started redirecting that wasted flared gas into energy. So a lot of times Bitcoin mining companies innovate around renewable energy. And I think Nigeria has a massive opportunity here, right, if it was something that we could take seriously.
Right. But is Bitcoin mining, is it still profitable? At this point, how many Bitcoins can you really mine, in say a year?
Your chart just showed that we're currently at about, $87,000. And if I'm correct, depending on the size of the facility that an entity or a country can set up, we would be doing close to $1 billion or over $1 billion if we invest right and we approach it right with the right setups and just following the right frameworks.
All right, we'll definitely wait and see, how Africa goes about mining, some of these Bitcoins, because we hear countries are buying Bitcoins now. Why not just mine it, at this point? Thank you so much, Ololade Babalola, as the founder and Endura Labs. Thank you for coming on today.